Hey everybody, TechnoGuy Canada here. And I'm going to do a series of videos that are designed to find out if or how easy it is to build a computer. Now specifically I'm going to be making a computer that is affordable and hopefully, fingers crossed, easy, but I also want it to be upgradable so that as parts go on sale, as there are price drops, I can easily upgrade the system. Now that's going to mean I want to be able to have a system that can handle the top of the line processor, and we're going to do an Intel based system. There's a lot of buzz right now about AMD Ryzen chips, but we're going to stick with Intel for now. So I want a system that can handle an i7 7700K. Now that is the kind of the cream of the crop as far as consumer based overclocking PCs right now. It's very fast, very capable. It's amazing how fast processors have got. And so I'm going to base my system on that as a ceiling, but I'm going to use the most affordable processors, the most affordable pieces I can to build this. So what you're looking at on the screen here is a very, very cool website called Part Picker. And this is, as you can see in the address bar, it's the Canadian Part Picker. Now, I've already created an account for myself, which is free, of course. And in that account, I've set my preferred retailers to ones that I'm comfortable buying from, like Amazon, Canada Computers, Newegg, Memory Express, things like that. There's a bunch of others there that have mixed reviews, some negative feedback from consumers. I'm not going to name them, but you can go in the desktop view, you can go into your profile and change those retailers. So without further ado, again, based on the fact that I want to build a system that can be top of the line, but I'm going to start cheap, the first thing I'm going to do is hit start a system build. And I'm going to choose my CPU. I'm going to go to CPU, I'm going to go to add. And look at that. This is rated by most popular. And there is our Intel processor that we were talking about. So I'm going to choose this just because. So I'm going to add that. So there it is. And it tells you the retailer. And you can click on the item and see other places where it's available and see how much the price is right now. But for now, let's leave that. Now the reason I did that is because that's what I want to strive towards over the next year or so as like I said, as prices maybe drop, hopefully drop, because I don't want to spend $445 on a processor right now. I want to spend $50 on a processor, and I'll show you that in a second. Maybe as much as 100, but we'll see what we can find. So I picked the 7700K processor. I am going to pick the motherboard. And two things I've learned from doing a little bit of research over the last few days is the Z270 processor is kind of the go-to if you want to make a top-of-the-line computer, and that you don't have to spend a ton of money to achieve this. As you can see, the first one on the list here is $159. That's not bad. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little filter in the top corner here, and I am going to choose the 270 chipset, and then I'm going to close the filter, and then I'm going to sort by price. Again, we're going to go by lowest price. So here is a ASRock 270 Pro 4. Now I personally believe in positive reviews, so here's that one that we came across first here. The MSI Z270A Pro. It's got 8 reviews. It's averaging 4.5 stars. We can kind of scroll up and down, but things are getting a little more expensive here. For the sake of budget, I'm going to choose, well, two things I'm going to do first. I'm going to click on the item to see where it's available from. So again, even though I've actually filtered my preferences, the ViewGo still comes up as the cheapest. That's after a mail-in rebate. So really we're looking at $155 for this motherboard. So let's go back here to the main screen here. Gigabyte is a brand that I am very familiar with. If I choose it, we can see Amazon has it for $152. Newegg has it for $154. You know, we go a little bit further down. You know, and again, we arrive at our MSI Z270, which seems to be the part of choice. We can see reviews, you know, solid motherboard, cheap, future-proof. These are all a lot of keywords that I like. 4 fan headers. That's good to know. I mean, I'm going to choose a case that has fans already, but that's very good to know. So, you know what? It's in our price range, which was around 150. I was thinking for a motherboard. So this is 159. We're going to add that. Now, you'll see something on the screen that just appeared. It says potential incompatibilities at the top of the screen. This is one of the great parts about Part Picker. It's only going to show us items that are compatible with the previous items we've chosen. This makes building a computer, as far as the physical side of it and the compatibility side of it, it makes it super easy. We're going to see the notes. It says does not include a CPU cooler. Adding a CPU cooler to your part list is recommended. I'm not going to do that only because this is not the chip we're going with. I'm going to choose memory based on, again, it being compatible with that processor and that motherboard. I want to start off with, again, for now, this is going to be our budget build. So I'm going to choose the lowest price. It's, of course, going to be 4 gigabytes. I want DDR4. I want it to be inexpensive. I kind of want it to look good as well. And that's because I'm going to choose a case that has a window on the side. So, you know, little things worth considering. Again, I do believe in, excuse me, in reviews, in positive reviews. So I'm going to scroll down. This is sorted by price. I'm looking for RAM that's going to look good and be inexpensive. And I think, well, you know, there we are, right? The Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4 RAM. I'm going to choose 4 gigabytes now. This is to get the system started and going. I'm going to choose, well, I've already chose a motherboard that has 4 slots, so I can easily add another slot, add another slot of stick of RAM, make it 8 gigabytes, and then I can, of course, at any time I want, bump that up to 16 gigabytes by adding 2 more, or swap them out for 8 gig sticks. I can't imagine I'll ever need more than 16 gigabytes. So, again, I'm choosing it because it looks cool, and, you know, it's relatively inexpensive, under $50. I'm going to choose the red just because. Hit that. And I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to change my CPU based on the fact that we want inexpensive. I'm going to go hit the change button, and now that I've chosen that motherboard, that RAM, I'm going to choose sort it by the lowest price, and here we are. We have a Celeron G3930 for $48.60. Now that price might be, no, that is legit, $50 almost everywhere. So now I know from being around the boards, this guy right here is the one to have, the G4560 for $85. Now that is, of course, 1/5 the price of the i7 processor, but we're going to choose that because it has a good rating. It uses only 54 watts of power. It has integrated graphics, which is good because as a starter build, I'm not going to choose to have a dedicated video card for now, but I know the motherboard that I chose can handle, of course, a very good video card, all the way up to a 1080 Ti. The latest, greatest video card is compatible with that motherboard. The beauty of this Pentium processor, and let me just go into the filter here for a second, I'll show you. One cool thing you want to choose is simultaneous multi-threading. That means If it's a dual core processor, it acts like a 4-core. If it's a 4-core processor, it acts like an 8-core. Basically, hyper-threading is the term that Intel uses. So you can see here, now that we're sorted by price and we've chosen that hyper-threading option, the 4560 is the least expensive option. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our build. You can see it replaced the i7, and I'm going to keep doing this. I'm only going to be choosing storage, which for the sake of performance, I'm going to choose a 250 gigabyte solid state drive. Solid state is the way to go if you want fast. Programs load incredibly fast. System boot time is incredibly fast. It's like a different experience altogether. So I will choose a 256 or 250 gigabyte, around there, drive. That's enough for the operating system, a bunch of programs, and again, I'm going to choose a solid state drive because it's super fast. I will then choose a case, budget minded, but with good airflow, and I would like a window on the side because I want this to look kind of cool. So that's how I'm going to go with this. I will post a follow-up video once I've got the full build together. And I will also, of course, be posting follow-up videos to that, where we're actually putting this little computer, well, it's not going to be so little, this computer with a small budget. We'll post a video with the conclusion in the end. We'll have some benchmarks, we'll have some general comments, and of course, I'll expect feedback from all of you on it, and we'll see how this goes. I haven't built a computer in a long time, so it's a little bit of a new experience for me. Again, Part Picker makes it so much easier. There's very little guesswork involved, so please stay tuned. Look forward to your comments, and subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.